بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم نحمده ونصلي على رسوله الكريم أما بعد. The ulama have looked at the ahkam and the rulings that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has directed us to do, or the things He's told us to stay away from, either from the Quran directly or via Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. And they have categorized these, just for categorization purposes, into different sections. They say one is aqaid, the beliefs, what we have to believe in. Belief in Allah, His Messenger, the Malaika, the Rusul, the Kutub, Taqdeer. And then we have ibadat, salah, sawm, zakah, hajj. Then this, after that, another categorization is mu'amalat. What is mu'amalat? Interaction, buying, selling, trading, loans, borrowing, returning. And then you have mu'ashara. What's mu'ashara? Ma'ashir. Living with each other, interacting with each other. So all of these make up the rulings of our Sharia and our Islam. Now what tends to happen is sometimes some people they don't have a broader understanding, and they kind of limit religion or limit their understanding of religion to this one part. Like, that's it, ibadat. And they're very punctual in the salah, they're very punctual in the zakah, sadaqah, tilawa, dhikr, dua. But the mu'amalat, they don't even realize that it's actually a part of our Islam, or we don't give it importance. Mu'ashara, how you interact with other people, you just don't consider this to something. Mu'amalat means when you interact with somebody, your finances should be basically spotless. Like if you owe somebody money, it's known, it's written, somebody knows about it. So you may owe somebody money, but it's written. Somebody owes you money, it's written, it's known, it's direct, it's clear. You're dealing with somebody, the way you dealt with them, the way you're given a time, the promise, all of these things is clear. You're working somewhere, so when you're working out, you're at work. Now, because people don't have the fear of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, they have all these different things, like you can have two screens. So you have one screen for work. When the boss comes by or you hear the boss coming, can you change the screen? So people make it a joke and have all these different things, but it's not. If you're working somewhere, you're working whether you're working in the government office, you're working in the private sector, you're working in a madrasa, wherever you're working, you have a contract. And if you don't spend that time in the job you're appointed to do, this is khiyana. This is a treachery. You've now betrayed the trust you've been given. And what happens now, the money you take, let's say for example, you spend 25 minutes playing solitaire or Candy Crush or whatever games they play on the computer. Yes? Or you're browsing, you're watching something in the background, and you're not doing the work to the best of your ability at an average pace that is expected from you. You're just doing like wasting time, putting things on hold, calls on hold, you're not responding. This is khiyana. That money you earn, so let's say you have 6 hours work, and you're doing 3 hours work, that 3 hours money is really, you can't ask the mufti, it could be in the haram category. It's not because you've not worked, you're just playing solitaire, you have double screen, you're watching something. So your mu'amala, you're the ajir, you're a worker, you're ajirun khas. You have ajir khas, ajir aam. One is, I employ somebody to build something for me. So you finish this project extension, £10,000. He can take as long as he wants, unless we agree to something. He can take a break as he wants, because he's for the project he's got. And one is ajir, your employer for time. If that time is not spent properly and you just waste it on purpose, this is khayana, this haram balf. So just as you have ingredients that are haram, meat may not be halal, you check the slaughter. This kind of thing is also very important, because now your money that you're earning is halal. You're at school. So even if you're at school, during your school time, your teacher, your student, or your teacher at school, and during your teaching time, you take your Arabic book at school, and in class, you start reading it. It's not permissible. In your free time, in your break, you can do this. Not, you go to work. If you revise at work during work time, it's not permissible. It's work no barakah, because you're supposed to be working that time. In your free time, you have break, you have thing, that's fine. But that you're not allowed to, why? Even in tilawah at work, when you're supposed to be working, it's not permissible. That tilawah is not going to bring you barakah. Because you're supposed to be doing a job, whether it's on the computer, whether it's lifting boxes, whatever you're supposed to be doing, you'll be employed. This is a contractual agreement with your employer. You're the employee and they're the employer. It's not permissible. This is treachery, this is betrayal. Then you have mu'ashara, how you interact with other people. Like you have a shared space, shared items, borrowing something, returning the item. You interact, ashara ba mufa'ala, you do with each other, you interact with each other. In this, how you deal with something. And sometimes you don't even realize that people will think, like, this is such a like you go to the toilet, they have a shared toilet, a shared washroom, bathroom. America can't find the word toilet, they're dirty. They have a shared toilet, shared bathroom. Allah ikhtilaf al-lughat. Yes? Now, you leave it dirty. This is not mu'ashara. You say, oh, there's only water on the floor. The person comes in after you, he has to clean up that water. The person comes in after you, there's water on the toilet seat. You haven't flushed it properly. This is not how you interact with other people. You give somebody your time, and you don't fulfill that time, that promise. You knew you couldn't have made it, you could have messaged that person, I'm not going to make it on time. That person is waiting for you. All of these things are called mu'ashara. And this is what you have to learn. And these small things, like this is what makes a person a person. This is what makes a person a real. All of these things come together and this is how you interact with somebody. Nobody's inconvenienced by you, and you bring ease and peace onto other people, whether it's your teachers, your parents, your wife, your spouse, your children, your workers, your co-workers, all of these things. And when it comes together, then you say, well, now this is how he knows how to be a Muslim. The ibadah is in place in the masjid, your aqaid is correct, and along with this your mu'ashara, your mu'amalat are also in place. All of these are necessary. I'll give you an example. I'll give you a few examples. A few times, this weekend happened as well, and also a couple of weekends ago. So my local masjid is Da'watul Haq. So Hazrat Mullah Ayub Sahib, he is the imam there, he's in charge there. Now, there's a guest came this weekend. A guest came this weekend. So there's a program after Zuhar, and Zuhar is 1:30. Correct? So when the guest came, by the time he got into the masjid, it was actually 1:30. Now he's a guest, you have to respect the guest, don't you? So the guest asked, can I perform my sunnah? He said no. He said no. Not in a bad way, he just said, Abhi namaz ka waqt ho gaya. He said in a good way. Because it's time for salah, and all the musallis are waiting for salah. So if you start praying your sunnah, it's going to take 6 minutes. And these people have come for salah, so no. And the guest was they're also from a very similar background, so they understand these things, so he had no qualms. Obviously sometimes a masjid may already know in advance that today our program, masjid namaz will be late. That's fine. Like the masjid knows that every day namaz can be late because we're a private masjid, like here we have an exam, they expect things to be on and off. But if a public masjid where everybody knows it. So he said, no, not now, please play after salah because people inconvenience. Once somebody was doing a bayan, and again Maulana stopped him and said, azan ka waqt ho gaya. Because when people are coming in and they expect the salah to a particular time and then they're going to be waiting. So you think, well, bayan is going on. What's so bad about it? The person may not have got something. Sometimes, for example, like, let's say, even in a class, I'm teaching hadith at 7:25, 7:30, 7:35. I'm saying, do you have any respect? I'm teaching Quran. I'm teaching hadith. Do you have value for Quran? You have value for Quran, but your mum have come to pick you up. And she got to pick somebody else up. Your dad might be waiting outside. He doesn't know how long it's going to be. So I kind of think, but what about the other person? So you have that awareness that I can't go beyond 7:25 because that person may have a round to pick somebody else. So what if from here to go to another one to pick somebody else up, another madrasa? They're waiting. Now I might think, I'm doing a great thing, taking 10 extra minutes of hadith. I'm saying I'm doing a really great job, free tuition, 10 minutes extra. But in reality, that's not. Why? Because I'm now somebody else's inconvenience because of me. Do you understand? So all of these things you have to start to gain an understanding. How you use a toilet, you have a shared space, you have a kitchen. Now, you took the knife, you didn't put it back, now somebody's looking for the kitchen, where is it gone? Something glue, hose pipe, anything. You don't put it back, that person comes after you, it's like, where's this item? A pen, scissors, in emergency you took a book from the library, you don't put it back in the right place. So all of these things is now, you inconvenience somebody after you. And this good character and high quality, this is what makes a person, part of what makes a person a complete believer. So along with the ibadat, all of these things. Another example is like, you understand that, I don't want to, you talk to other people in a way where it's like you're a pleasant person. Like so many people, you're outside, oh man, how are you? Wa alaikum salam, this, that, give hadiyah, everything. And you go home. He doesn't think that if I go home and give a gift to my wife, or if I prepare food for my husband, or if I do something for my children, it's also an ibadah. Everything outside, everybody wants to be nice. But the real thing is, those people who are close to you, وَابْدَأْ بِمَنْ تَؤُولُ. The Prophet ﷺ said, in spending, spend on those who are you responsible first. So if spending, meaning your spending, your akhlaq, your money, everything on those people you first. They deserve most. So Imam Bukhari rahmatullah alayhi, he has his, he's trying to make this, he's like, when he brings a chapter and the headings, he's trying to mix it So he brings a chapter regarding the right of the wife. He brings a chapter regarding the right of the wife. Which hadith did he bring? The hadith about neighbors. The Prophet said that Jibreel Amin, he continued to do was like advise me to be good to your neighbor, be good to your neighbor, be good to your neighbor. I thought this being good to your neighbor is going to go so far that it's possible that one day the Jibreel Amin will come and say, when you die, X amount of money will go to your neighbor. That's how far it went in terms of the neighbor's right. So Imam Bukhari brings that in which chapter? Being good to your, what's he trying to prove? Where does the neighbor live? In the next house. Who lives in your own house? Your wife. So if the neighbor has so many rights, how much rights does the wife have? Do you understand? This is what he's trying to prove, that use your brains. If the Prophet is saying about, he then so much wasiyah about the person who lives in the house next to you, the person who stays in the same room as you, in the same house as you, how much rights do they have? And opposite way around, the husband, the children, that be good to them. So all of these things make up a part that a person, that nobody's inconvenienced by them. If you're going to get late, somebody cook food for you, then message that I'll be late. Or they know that, yeah, normally they're late after Marissa. So either they know in advance, or we're getting late. You're going to a dawat, so that I can't make it. You can't, so, so many things like this, you inconvenience people if you don't be careful. If you have to think, be aware. I'll finish with one more story, inshallah. And this only comes when you start making this a goal of your life. That look, I can't cause anybody inconvenience. Then you start thinking, it's not, you don't even think down these routes. If you think this way, that no, I have to conduct myself in a way nobody's inconvenienced. Time-wise, space-wise, usage-wise, anything. Everything I do, nobody is inconvenienced. And when it's possible, it causes people comfort. This again is a dirty example, but if you just spray air freshener in the toilet, you get reward for that. Because nobody's meant to go to the toilet, it smells nice, innit? When you leave the toilet, you spray air freshener, that's a good ibadah. Because now you left it's nice and clean, it's fresh, it's clean, dry, everything, you left, anyway, that's also an ibadah. Yeah? So when you start thinking this way, all of these things you start thinking. So I mentioned a story before as well, about our teacher Mawlana Salim Sahib Hafidhahullah. He says that once he was in the haram. So Mawlana Thani Rahmatullah was very, very particular regarding this area. This matter, Mawlana Ashraf Thani Rahmatullah alayhi. And all of his students, like they learned this from him. But look, adalu mu'ashara, be very, very particular in the way you conduct yourself. And his students, one of his main students was Mufti Shafi Sahib Rahmatullah alayhi, the author of Ma'arif al-Quran. And his two sons were Mufti Shafi Sahib, Mufti Rafi Sahib, and Mufti Taqi Sahib. One has passed away, Mufti Rafi Sahib. So Mawlana Salim Sahib Hafidhahullah, again makes up all these names, Rahmatullah alayhi, Hafidhahullah, Barakatum. Yes, who's alive, who's passed away. So our teacher Mawlana Salim Sahib Barakatum, he told us a story that Mufti Rafi Sahib, Rahmatullah alayhi, who's passed away now. They were together in the haram. They were together in the haram, went to meet him, etc. So when he went to meet him, he said to him, he was expecting some guests from another city. And obviously those times there wasn't mobile, it was like 10, 15, no, more than that, maybe 20, 25 years ago. Yes, so he went to meet him in the haram. So he said, I need to take permission. He was talking, we were doing whatever, sitting with him, listening to his whatever. I need to go because there's some guests expecting me. I can't message them, there's no message. I can't inform them that I'm busy, so they're going to meet me in the hotel. So I need to take excuse. So I'll meet you after Isha here. Yes, I'll meet you after Isha here. Simple, isn't it? But because Mufti Rafi Sahib has been trained in such a way that I don't want anybody to be inconvenienced because of me before he went. He said, Aap azad, may be azad. Aap bhi azad, may be azad. Meaning after Isha, but I'm also not tied down, neither are you tied down. In case something happens to you, you can't make it back here, then you think, what's going to happen? I'll be waiting for you. And if something happens to me, I need to go, I'm not going to wait too long for you. So both of us know the other person is not, if I can't make it, it's not a problem, he's not going to wait for me. So it's simple, I'll meet you after Isha. But because the haram, lots of crowd, lots of people, things can happen. But because he's thinking down this line that I don't want to cause any inconvenience, meeting up, time, waiting for you. Then he says, look, I'll be azad, maybe azad. Something happens to you, you are free. Like you don't have to bound to get back here thinking that I'll be waiting for you. And I'm not going to wait for you too much. So if something happens to you, and exactly what happened. Hazrat says that then what happened? Something happened and they got late, they couldn't get for Isha. And then he realized, all right, I now realize this is because they think down these lines. You understand? So all of these things you have to start thinking, nobody's inconvenience, time, respect another person's time, respect another person's property, respect shared usages of items, respect shared spaces. All of these things, when you do this, then this is what you call, you have mu'ashara, you know how to live with each other. And it always says, example, Hidayah in our time was 4 volumes. It's still 4 volumes, it's been printed different times, but our time was 4 volumes. So volume 1 was Ibadat. And the other 3 volumes, non-Ibadat. So obviously Ibadah is essential, fasting, zakah, hajj and salah. But along with these 3 volumes, 3/4 of Hidayah, which is the main Hanafi book of fiqh, it doesn't contain Ibadah. It's about buying, selling, nikah, transactions, all of these things. Why? Because our deen is not only limited to the masjid. Our deen is limited outside the masjid. How you park the car? Are you blocking somebody's space? Are you taking up things? So all of these things make up our religion. So we need to understand this. Not only about our salah and our zakat, these are essentials. is also very important. But along with this, we need to understand that simply to put in everything, if you look at the simple crux of everything is, live your life in a way that you cause others comfort and nobody is inconvenienced by you. Khairun nas anfa'un nas. Now one of the best characteristics of a person is that he brings about benefit to other people. And obviously if you bring benefit to other people, that means you don't inconvenience them. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give me and all of you the ability to act upon me. Subhanallah wa bihamdihi, subhanakallahumma wa bihamdika, wa nashhadu an la ilaha illa anta, nastaghfiruka wa natubu ilayk.